starting our descent into Orlando.
A new universe of theme parks, resorts, and nightlife. Universal Studios Escape. Are you ready?
When Universal's The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man opened in 1999 at Islands of Adventure in Orlando, it redefined the theme park experience. At a time when most attractions were either traditional dark rides or stationary 3D simulators, Spider-Man introduced a groundbreaking hybrid that blurred the line between cinema and reality. More than 2 decades later, no other 3D attraction has fully surpassed its technological mastery, immersive storytelling, and kinetic thrill. Spider-Man is not just a theme park ride, it is the gold standard against which all immersive attractions have since been judged, a standard that even Universal and their rival Disney have struggled to live up to since. Development of The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man ride began in 1996, during a period when theme park audiences were growing increasingly sophisticated and seeking immersive experiences that combine thrilling motion with elaborate storytelling. Universal were likewise growing as they were in the initial stages of constructing their first non-movie studios theme park. Instead, they wanted to build a truly transportive, fantasy-themed park that could rival even Disney's best. With this, they needed to create some groundbreaking attractions, one of which would of course be The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. In the mid-1990s, Universal Creative set out to develop a Marvel-based attraction that could compete with Disney's increasingly immersive dark rides. Most specifically, the Indiana Jones Adventure at Disneyland, which had recently opened and absolutely blown everyone away. The vision for this attraction was that guests wouldn't just watch Spider-Man battle villains, they would be in the very middle of it. To do this, Universal figured out that they needed to blend multiple attraction mediums into one experience, something no ride had attempted on such a scale before. Creative director Thierry Coupe and his team at Universal Creative conceived an experience that fused motion simulation, a 3D film, live-action physical sets, special effects, and a roving vehicle. What emerged from that vision was the world's first true roving motion-based simulator, a concept that has influenced virtually every modern themed attraction since. The level of technology that needed to be combined was unprecedented. Thus, Universal collaborated with many companies to create this attraction, including Bricket Engineering for control systems, Moog for precision actuators, Sound Deluxe for audio design, Reinhardt Manufacturing for structural elements, and Kleiser Walzak for stereoscopic animation. Universal worked particularly close with Silicon Graphics and Elias Wavefront, using early beta versions of Maya, and then cutting-edge 3D animation software to animate scenes that had to be pre-rendered to extreme precision. The projections had to seamlessly align with physical environments, while moving vehicles navigated both virtual and practical worlds in real time. This coordination demanded a breakthrough technique known as squinching, a warping process that adjusted 3D visuals based on vehicle position and angle to preserve the illusion. Also significant was the use of dual-image 3D projection. Each of the 13 screens used custom twin projectors that showed left and right eye images with exact synchronization. The visual clarity and brightness maintained even in a large-scale environment was unprecedented. Oceaneering International, specifically its themed entertainment division, Oceaneering Entertainment Systems, were also very instrumental in bringing The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man to life. Oceaneering were tasked by Universal Creative to design and build the Scoop vehicles featuring a 6-degree of freedom motion base and full 360-degree yaw rotation via a patented ring and pinion mechanism, all mounted on a steel guidance track. This complex roving motion-based platform provided the kinetic heart of the attraction, allowing riders to sweep seamlessly through dynamic 3D environments and physical sets. With this incredible creation, unlike traditional simulator rides like Star Tours or Back to the Future, Spider-Man did not confine guests to a stationary theatre. Riders board a Scoop vehicle, an 8-person, 6-degree of freedom motion base that glides along a track. This hybrid system allows it to pitch, roll, and yaw while simultaneously travelling through a multi-room physical space. As guests move, they pass through elaborate practical sets, enhanced with 13 massive 3D screens. On these screens, animated characters appear to jump in and out of the real world, interacting with physical props and pyrotechnics. The integration is so tight that guests rarely realize when they transition from screen to set or set to screen. The practical effects of fog, water, fire, and air blasts are timed with pinpoint precision to match the visual cues. For instance, when the Hobgoblin throws a pumpkin bomb, riders feel the heat from a real flame effect. And when Dr. Octopus lifts a scoop car, the vehicle rises several feet into the air, while the screen angle shifts to simulate this vertical movement. This synchronization across multiple mediums is what makes Spider-Man feel so alive. Every element, visual, auditory, physical, is designed to reinforce the illusion that you were inside a comic book come to life. All of this had to operate with absolute consistency. A single glitch in timing or alignment could ruin the ride's immersive illusion. Thus, the software running Spider-Man was complex, coordinating hundreds of ride variables in real time, and it took years of testing and refinement to bring it to life, with Universal's programmers writing custom code to manage scene transitions, vehicle behavior, and timing cues.
It's going to be a groundbreaking attraction, kind of a threshold attraction, taking new technologies and combining them in ways with special effects and film that have never been done before.
This technological wizardry is only one side of the coin. Another thing that elevates The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is its narrative drive. From the moment riders enter the queue, designed as the office of the Daily Bugle, they are placed within the story. The premise is simple but effective. The Sinister Syndicate has stolen the Statue of Liberty using an anti-gravity gun, and it's up to Spider-Man, and you, the hapless journalist, to stop them. This narrative unfolds kinetically, and guests are immediately thrown into the action, encountering the villains one by one in an escalating series of confrontations. The plot builds to a climatic rooftop battle, in which the scoop vehicle seemingly plummets 400 feet, only to be rescued in mid-air by Spider-Man. This sensation is accomplished via a combination of motion-based, vertical drop mechanisms and expertly timed 3D visuals. It's a moment that to this day causes first-time riders to scream in disbelief. By merging ride movement with cinematic beats, the attraction achieves what many modern rides struggle to do. It maintains narrative clarity while delivering sensory overload. The pacing is absolutely flawless. Never too fast to be disorientating, but never too slow to lose tension. Upon opening, and for 11 straight years, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man won the Golden Ticket Award for Best Art Ride. But in 2014, that award was finally lost to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. While The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man redefined what a 3D dark ride could be in the late 1990s, Universal's Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey had raised that bar yet again when it opened in 2010. Forbidden Journey built upon Spider-Man's groundbreaking formula, blending practical sets, cutting-edge projection, and dynamic vehicle motion. But this time it also introduced a revolutionary new ride system, the KUKA robotic arm mounted on a track. This same ride system has endured so well that it has recently been utilised in the brand new Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment at Epic Universe. But rather than eclipsing Spider-Man, these successors stand on its shoulders, each new ride a tribute to the benchmark it established. Plus, if you ride Forbidden Journey and Spider-Man back-to-back, it's just another perfect reminder of how incredibly well Spider-Man has endured. In fact, to aid this lasting power, in 2012, Universal upgraded The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man with a complete digital remaster in 4K HD. The visuals were redone using modern rendering software, improving lighting, detail, and color depth. The upgrade also added emphatic 3D projection, resulting in brighter and crisper images. Every single animated scene was reanimated from scratch, and Stan Lee himself was also digitally inserted into multiple scenes in cameo form.
Hi, heroes! The Universal creative team has been working for months to completely reanimate one of the world's greatest rides, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. They've even added me to the 3D adventure, but I'm not going to tell you where to find me. You'll have to discover that on your own.
Despite more recent Universal rides using similar mechanics, like Transformers The Ride 3D or even Escape from Gringotts, nothing has quite achieved the same level of technological marvel as Spider-Man. What sets it apart is its ability to transcend the sum of its parts. It's not just a motion simulator, a dark ride, or a 3D film. It's all of them merged with surgical precision. It's a rare example of a new attraction technology being utilised perfectly the first time round. Gringotts lacks in the coaster element it strives for and just doesn't quite blend screens with a very sparse amount of practical theming. Then, although Transformers The Ride 3D utilises the exact same ride system, its narrative is weak and its blending of motion and screens is just a little off, causing many riders to complain that this attraction causes motion sickness in a way Spider-Man amazingly does not. The the ride has also had a ripple effect across the wider theme park industry. Disney's recent entries into high-tech screen-based attractions such as Flight of Passage, Smuggler's Run, and even to a degree Rise of the Resistance all borrow ideas that Spider-Man pioneered. The use of multiple mediums, synchronized storytelling, and motion simulation in these attractions truly owes a debt to the innovations made by Universal back in 1999. Plus, Universal themselves also owe a lot to the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Islands of Adventure was a huge turning point for the company. It was their first effort to create a themed park that could truly rival Disney's best and most themed. Obviously, they found great success here, hence the opening of Epic Universe. And much of this success can be credited to the park's star opening day attraction, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is more than just a ride. It's a landmark in themed entertainment. It changed the way attractions are conceptualized, built, and experienced. And over 20 years later, its legacy is still inspiring the theme park industry. But even with its long-standing popularity, fears are constantly present surrounding this attraction's removal. With Disney's ownership of Marvel, the Transformers land at Universal Beijing, which looks like a blueprint for how to de-Marvelify Marvel Superhero Island, and the recent removal of the attraction's clone over in Universal Studios Japan, which had initially been created in 2004, these fears feel pretty rational. In fact, back before Disney opened up their very own Spider-Man attraction called Web Slingers: A Spider-Man Adventure, many were afraid that this new Spider-Man ride would totally eclipse Universal's. But when this attraction debuted in 2021, these fears were proven to be very, very misguided. Disney's Spider-Man ride is, in the opinion of many, not a patch on Universal's. This interactive screen ride just can't live up to the mammoth that is The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. In my opinion, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is to screen-based rides what Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean or The Haunted Mansion are to traditional dark rides, the gold standard. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. And don't forget to like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos and the links in the description.
Man, you shouldn't be out here. With Doc Ock on the loose, this could be the most dangerous night of my life. And yours. Be careful. Nice shades. Was that Spider-Man?